Hello and welcome to Talking Music, where every song has a story. My name's Paul, and on this channel we like to get behind the story of a song, as it were, come up with some interesting facts and information, even some secrets from time to time about the song in question. And today's song is a classic. It's 10cc, I'm Not in Love. The band's members were Kevin Godley, Eric Stewart, Lol Cream and Graham Goldman. 10cc are one of the most creative bands ever. All four of their members did just about everything. They wrote, they sang, they produced, and were all multi-instrumentalists, very talented individuals. And they came together in 1972. They had been working with each other for a few years before that, but 10cc was officially formed in 1972. Goldman and Stewart were mainly pop creators, whereas Godley and Cream were more experimental in what they liked to do, bringing the concept of art and video to their music. Great mix. I'm Not in Love, written by Eric Stewart, was their 7th UK hit single and was to become their international breakthrough hit. The song was written and composed by Eric Stewart and Graham Goldman. Eric wrote the song with an idea that was born when his wife, they'd been married for 8 years, said to him, "Why don't you tell me you love me more often?" Eric's reply was something like, "Well, if I tell you I love you all the time, then the sentiment becomes demeaned, and eventually when I do say it to you, it might mean nothing to me and nothing to you. So when I say it less frequently, you'll know that it carries meaning." This conversation with his wife got Eric thinking about how he could write this sentiment into a song. I suppose he failed to do this exactly, but the song inspired him to come up with I'm Not in Love, though not beset with the greatest lyrics of all time, but a song with a production that has stood the test of time. The song tells about a lover who might well be coy with his emotions. He doesn't want a fuss. He doesn't want his partner to think they've got it made because they should know that they don't mean that much to him. And that picture on the wall, well, it's there for a reason. Either the singer in the song is not in love and telling the truth, literally, or, as is very often the case in human reaction, the singer is playing it cool and saying the complete opposite to the way he feels. Listeners can interpret it their own way. The band has left it up to you. So it's either the strangest love song, starting off with the line, I'm not in love, or it's truth and honesty, and the partner should know that they are just wasting their time. When Eric and Graham presented the song to Lol Cream and Kevin Godley, the demo was based on a bossa nova theme with guitars. Graham Goldman has since shown us what the song originally sounded like, as the original demo has been erased.
I'm not in love, so don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through.
With a little bit of production, it could sound like hotel foyer music, and the band, including Eric and Graham, who remember were championing this song, were not enthusiastic.
We heard it back. Everyone was underwhelmed, I think is the best word. And it was, nobody had the real enthusiasm to carry on with it. It sounded so underwhelming.
Yeah, I hated it. Oh, sure, I say I didn't like it particularly. I didn't get it particularly. There was something in there, and we all recognised there was something in there, but that treatment didn't really bring it to life. We weren't really sure what we could do with it. I think I said at the time, well, why don't we do it with voices, no instruments, just all a tsunami of voices, wash of voices. Probably out of desperation, really, trying to come up with something to make this thing come to life.
I said, what do you mean a cappella? You know, we all sing without a backing. He said, no, the backing track. Let's do the whole backing track with voices, like a massive choir, the biggest choir you can imagine. I said, great. How do we do it? How do we do that? There's only 4 of us. And Lol said, tape loops. I said, great. All right, let's do it. And we spent 3 weeks recording 3 of them in the studio, Kevin, Lol and Graham, singing ah, as long as they could hold their breath.
Eric, who had engineered many sessions previously, and whose studio it was, Strawberry Studios in Stockport, just outside Manchester, named after his favourite Beatles song, took it upon himself to engineer the sound. Over the next 3 weeks, Eric recorded Graham, Lol and Kevin singing "Ah" 16 times for each note of the musical scale, therefore creating a full vocal backing of some 48 voices for each note, and these notes were used as backing for the entire song, being faded up and down at appropriate moments. The song had constant backing vocals in a way no other song had ever had. It was a wall of sound with human voices looped through the recording desk, which was then used as an instrument. Completely original and highly creative. There were other instruments on the song, though, to add to the production. An electric piano played by Eric as he sang, electric guitar by Graham, and a bass drum sound played by Kevin on a Moog synthesizer with Lol on piano. So the song was finished. 2 of the band, Eric and Graham, were very happy. So too were Kevin and Lol. But they thought the song could take more. And remember, those 2 were the artistic, real creative force of 10cc. Lol had, for no particular reason he can remember, voiced the words "Big Boys Don't Cry" into the mic a few times when he was laying down the piano solo, and thought that a voice saying those words as a type of bridge on the song would be interesting.
What shall we do next? Just as we said that, the secretary at the studio, Kathy Redfern, popped her head round the door. She said, "Eric, there's a phone call for you."
And then they said, "That's it." So I immediately turned round and ran back to the reception area. I thought, no way. And Lol came after me, actually, and took me in, and they said, "We want you to do something for us." All the time I'm thinking, no, I can't sing, I can't do this. And I remember Kev came in with me into the studio and they said, "You've just got to whisper. Be quiet. Big boys don't cry. Big boys don't cry. Big boys don't cry. Big boys don't cry."
There were no head-scratching moments, no arguments, no fuss, just creative solutions all the way that everyone agreed with. Then it was mixed, and I'm Not in Love was completed. It was late evening, and the band members turned off all the studio lights, lay down on the floor, and listened, without interruption, to the song 3 times. The lights went back on, and they knew they'd made something special. It was 6.5 minutes long, so there were going to be complications for it being a single, so they didn't know whether or not it would be a hit. At the time, they were recording with a small record label that was struggling financially, but were being pursued by Mercury Records, part of the giant Phonogram group, who could promote the band on a much wider scale internationally. Eric played I'm Not in Love to Mercury Records and was told the song was a masterpiece, and he and the band could write their own contract. Again, though, that old chestnut of the song's length came into question. At 6.5 minutes long on the album, the original soundtrack, I'm Not in Love was overlooked as lead single, and Life as a Minestrone was released first. I'm Not in Love came next, but was edited down to 4 minutes for radio airplay. But such was the regard people in the music industry had for the song, such enthusiasm, soon radio stations were playing the full album version. In America, where record times were scrutinized even further, the song was edited down to 3 minutes 42 seconds by taking most of the intro off and the multi-layered vocals after the bridge. I still don't know why radio stations even then were so fierce on record times. It did nothing but detract from the artist's original creation. There was a promotional video of the song showing the band performing I'm Not in Love. At this time, 1975, videos had been moving away from the artist walking down the street while the song plays in the background, to artist or band miming as best they could to the record, as you can see here. The song, through Mercury Records, was released in a number of countries worldwide and brought 10cc international acclaim for the first time, especially in America. It reached number 1 in Canada and Ireland, and top 5 in New Zealand, Australia, the Netherlands and Belgium. So let's look at the charts. In the UK, it was the summer hit that year. It entered the chart at number 8, then up to number 3, then 2, and then number 1 for a couple of weeks. It almost stalked that number 1 position. And there, as you can see, for the first of those 2 weeks, at number 1 on the UK singles chart, 28th of June 1975. It went on to become the 11th best seller in the UK for 1975, 250,000 record sales, so it turned silver. But you must remember the album, the original soundtrack, had been released months earlier and had turned gold, and it had the longer version of I'm Not in Love, so that obviously impacted on singles sales. Did well in the US as well. 26th of July 1975, that was its peak position, number 2. 8 weeks altogether in the US top 20. It was the first hit 10cc had as a band in the United States, and it sold 500,000 records there. Spent 3 weeks at number 2, and each week a different song was at number 1 during those 3 weeks. 10cc were at number 2. Firstly, it was The Hustle, Van McCoy, then One of These Nights, The Eagles, and then Jive Talking from the Bee Gees. 1975 saw 2 giants of song break through. Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, at the end of the year, and I'm Not in Love, 10cc, in the summer. The longer 6.5-minute version of I'm Not in Love gives the full listener experience in a way the edited version doesn't. The edit has you saying, hey, that's a good song. The full version lets you know it's a masterpiece. Thank God Freddie Mercury won his battle with the record company to release the full-length version of Bohemian Rhapsody. But I'm Not in Love has stood the test of time, there's no doubt about that. And if I can gaze into my crystal ball, if I were recording this video in 50 years, I think I'd be saying the same thing. I'm Not in Love, 10cc. And that's it for another Talking Music video. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel, Talking Music, where every song has a story. We've got loads more videos of well-known songs where we get behind the story of the song with facts and information and secrets and stories. And all you need to do, as I say, is click on the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. So until that time, keep well. Till then, bye-bye.